Hey YouTubers, this is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we have a Samsung gas oven that is not heating up, and we're going to be replacing the igniter. This is what it should look like. It should get about yellow hot, and then the gas should flow in and ignite it. But ours is having no ignition. Another symptom might be that it just takes a long time for the oven to kick on. So we're going to cover today how to easily replace the igniter. And the igniter part, we'll put one in the description below, is only about $25 from Amazon. And it's really easy. It takes you less than 30 minutes. So I'm taking out the racks. I've also lifted the door off already. I brought it out to about 30 degrees from the oven and then lifted it off of its little hinges. I got the racks out. I'm going to lift up the back of the lower panel about 45 degrees and then pull it out. And then I'm going to take a paper towel and get it wet with some water. I'm going to get it fairly saturated. And I'm going to drip some of that water on the threads of the two screws that are holding the igniter onto the venturi tube or the burner tube. And this really helps a lot because the threads need some type of lubrication. Oil's not good because it can get kind of smoky. So I'm going to use my driver here to unloosen these two screws. Spin them out to the left, lefty-loosey. I think these also have a Phillips head part to them that you can use a Phillips head screwdriver too, but this little socket takes it out pretty quick. So you just take out those two screws and then you can take the old igniter off. This one lasted about 5 years. And I'm going to gently pull to get the wires out of where they were pushed into the oven cavity. And this one had been replaced before. This is not the factory one because you can see these white ceramic wire nuts. So this has been replaced about 5 years previously. And now I have an Electrolux igniter, again about $25. It's an exact match. And I'm going to take off the old two wire nuts to expose these two wires. If you don't have wire nuts and they're connected, you can just cut those two wires. Make sure you have the oven unplugged first. And then the new one will come with these two wire nuts that you can easily use to put the two wires together, one from the igniter, one from the oven, and then you can put the wire nut on righty-tighty, get it to where it goes all the way on as far as it'll go. You can hook up either one of the wires from the oven to either one of the wires from the igniter. There's no polarity issue, so either one's fine. So get those on there really tight, and then we're going to push them into this little cavity here behind the venturi tube to get them out of the way. There is some heat insulation material. I'm going to pull that out to create a little bit more space. And I'll push those wires into that cavity, and then I'll go ahead and put the heat dampening material back into the cavity to protect the wires. But since heat rises, this part of the oven doesn't get real hot. It's below where the flame comes out. But it is good to get these out of the way. So I'm going to push them in. I'm going to make sure these wires are not touching any sharp parts of the metal. So I don't want them to get cut. And then I'll go ahead and put the new igniter bracket into position. And I'll put on the two mounting screws. I'll just put them on by hand first, and then I'll tighten them up. And you're pretty much done. We just have to do a little bit of reassembly, but this is a really easy and fast procedure. Inexpensive, easy to do at home. Don't need many tools. And putting water on the threads is really good, really helps. And putting that heat dampening material back into that cavity to protect those wires. Okay, now I'm just gently tightening up those two screws. Hold the bracket. And then before I put it together, I want to do what's called the flame test. That's just where you call for heat like you normally would to bake something. And you can take a look at how the igniter behaves. So I'm turning on bake. I'm setting it for 350 degrees, and on this oven, you just let go. I'm sorry, this is a Samsung oven, not a Frigidaire, Samsung. And the relay, I hear it clicking up there at the control where the control board is, and then I can see it slowly start to get hotter and hotter. And on a brand new igniter, you should notice this right away. It should take anywhere between 30 to 40 seconds for it to get basically white hot. And then the safety valve will let the gas flow in and it will ignite the gas. So that's exactly what's supposed to happen. When it takes longer than a minute, then something's wrong with the igniter. It's just getting worn out. So that's a nice flame. We're going to go ahead and shut it off now. Press cancel. And it takes a few seconds for the flame to go out. And then I'll go ahead and put everything back together. I want to make sure the flame is not going while I'm reassembling it. So I'm going to put the lower panel back in. I'll get it into the cavity. I'll lift it to 45 degrees, put the front lip into the frame, and then I'm going to set it down where it's nice and flat. Some of these have little screws in the back you can use to hold down the back panel, but just gravity's fine too. I'll slide the racks back in. And then we're going to go ahead and slide the door back in. You don't have to take the door off. You can do it with the door still on. It just makes it a little bit easier for me to get to it. So I'll slide it on to the left and the right. Push it all the way down. Then I'll close the door. Go back and forth a few times. So now I'll have the door closed and I'll do a time test. I'll ask to go to 350 and see how long it takes. I'm just testing also the surface burners. They all look good. They're lighting really fast. So for an older stove, this one's doing pretty good. So I found that it took about 8 minutes to go from basically 0 degrees to 350. Here it is 345. Gradually come up. We just hit 350. About 8 minutes. That's a good amount of speed. Yeah, so that's pretty quick. That's a good healthy oven. So thanks so much for watching this video.
Thanks so much for watching our video today. I hope that this video has saved you some time and money. And if so, could you please press down in the video description below the donation link and send us a donation so we can keep this service going. Thanks again. And if you have any questions about this repair, could you contact me at scottthefixitguy@yahoo.com. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Subscribe to our channel when you get a chance, and also click the little bell notification button so we can send you weekly videos on all the different ways of fixing appliances around your home and saving you lots of money. So thanks again for watching, and please also press the like button for our video if this was helpful to you. Feel free to contact me at the email listed below, which is scottthefixitguy@yahoo.com, with any of your questions. And also, if you need to have a FaceTime meeting with me or a Zoom meeting, you can click on one of the links below in the description, and we can set up a 15-minute or 30-minute video conference where we can work on your appliance problem. So thanks again for all your support and for watching the video.